Welcome to the March 6th edition of Amateur Hour. Hope you guys are doing great. I am Safon Alvi, joined by Ryan Korangel, our producer, Leo Saylor, and the second half of Amateur Hour, Ryan Poley. How are we doing today, boys?
Wait, where's the math there? Hold up.
Second half?
Yeah,
You're the first half. I'm the second half. He's the third half, and Ryan's the fourth half.
That is four halves.
I got you.
You gotta carry
four
the three, mention the four, and reduce the two.
Yeah, and then draw the line and
Regular.
checks out with me. I'm cool on it, boys.
All right, so welcome. We have another decently slow week here for sports, but we could talk about the on-campus activities first. Leo, you want to talk about the fraternity frat?
For sure. This week is Rush Week. We got lots of good events popping off. Tonight, which is Tuesday, we have the game night going on. We're going to be playing some Fortnite, probably some Chell, some Madden, some FIFA. You like any of those things, roll through. As long as you're a guy, if you're a girl, we hate to exclude you. Wait for a strat. They're coming soon.
You're welcome to come, but you're not joining the fraternity.
Correct. That would be an accurate statement. And then tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we got baskets and corns, basketball and cornhole. What gets more west side than that? UC Delts will be rolling through for that event as well, so you'll want to check that out. And then there will also be events going on Thursday and Friday. Off the top of my head, I'm not too sure what they are. We've been pretty busy lately. Lots of things going on. So be sure to check out your Mount Roar app as well as your email to get those details. And it should be a good time. We hope to see you guys out there.
Yep.
So diving into the sports world, we just got done with the NFL Combine.
Oof.
What do you guys think about that? We all know the big winner of that turn of the Combine was Shaquem Griffin from UCF.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely was spectacular in all of his drills. We know the 4.38 was the big one. It was incredible.
He could have done that with one hand tied behind his back, literally.
Yeah,
That's
a good one.
Get it?
Yeah, he could have done that because he is missing a hand. That is true.
Yeah, and it really sucks that people, obviously in the NFL, are going to
They're gonna be biased.
hold him back because of his physical condition. But
Right.
those type of numbers, if any other player puts up those type of numbers, we're asking if he's the number one overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
If a linebacker is running a 4.38, you're saying,
Right.
well, this guy's going top 5.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be lucky to be a day one draft pick because of his arm. He
It's-
produces on the field. That's what I see. Against Auburn, against the SEC, the big bad SEC, he was tearing Auburn up from what I saw.
Yeah.
So there should be no question that he can play, and he absolutely deserves to be on a first day. That's my opinion.
For those of you who don't know his story, he's a linebacker at UCF. He'll be draft eligible this year. He's missing a hand. I believe he was born without the hand.
Yeah.
Born without the hand, and not only has he put up these great numbers at the Combine, you might be thinking, oh, okay, well, that impacts his numbers on the field. That does limit him. It doesn't. He led the nation in interceptions by a linebacker, I believe.
And with one hand.
With one hand.
And that's why I mentioned Auburn, because a lot of people say, oh, UCF, he didn't play anybody.
Auburn's a good team.
Auburn was a national
Auburn was top
championship
5.
contending team. They beat Alabama, who won the championship just 2 weeks before the championship
Right.
game.
Mm-hmm.
And he was absolutely destroying Auburn.
Yeah.
He played great against great competition.
It really was impressive.
It reminds me of UC Umanura from the Giants. He tore off a couple of those fingers in that fireworks accident.
That was
He still played
JPP, Jason Pierre.
Oh, yeah,
That's
the
who
wrong
we're talking
hand.
about.
Yeah, same difference, whatever.
And
The
he's
Giants suck.
still a star.
Yeah.
So
He is. So it's interesting. Let me ask you this. You said he'd be lucky to be day one draft. Do you think he'll go undrafted?
Oh, no,
He'll
not.
get drafted.
He'll get
He will?
drafted. I say
Okay.
anywhere between the second and fourth round.
Okay, well that's really good news. His brother is an NFL player.
Shaquille Griffin is a
Shaquille.
cornerback for the Seahawks.
Seahawks, okay.
And they showed on camera that Pete Carroll, head coach of the Seahawks, was blown away by his 4.38.
Yeah.
And it
Who
really
wouldn't
is
be?
impressive.
His brother also ran a 4.38.
He's running
at the
faster
Combine.
than wide receivers do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 238 pounds.
He beat Julio's 40
That's
time.
incredible.
Now, Julio really didn't have that great of a 40 time, but as we all know, Julio is one of the fastest players in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
Another big thing about the Combine is the quarterbacks. We hear a lot about the quarterbacks running the 40, whether they should throw or not, interviews with teams, and we all know about the Lamar Jackson controversy.
I think, Lamar has been saying all week, I'm going to be drafted as a quarterback whether you like it or not. I'm not even going to work out as a wide receiver. Why even do that? Because he's an athlete, and, people are going to judge him because he's fast, and he's, a running quarterback that doesn't work in the NFL. If you like that style of play and you can work with it, like Tyrod Taylor, I know it's not successful, but if you can implement that as a part of your system, it's just another weapon. Russell Wilson uses that really well, but because he learned how to throw really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lamar Jackson, he should absolutely play quarterback if he wants to play quarterback.
Right.
He has the arm to play quarterback.
He has the arm to play quarterback.
It's just a matter of accuracy.
Yeah, the accuracy is really his only question. He's a better athlete than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He has just as much arm strength, other than maybe Josh Allen. You could argue he has the strongest arm.
if NCAA football still existed as a video game, he'd be like the Mike Vick, like the 99 overall.
Yeah, so Lamar Jackson shouldn't be taking anything from these executives saying, "Oh, you need to play wide receiver." Absolutely not. You don't need to play wide receiver.
Well, the truth is, Terrell Pryor was drafted as a quarterback, and he still became a successful wide receiver.
Right.
Just because he doesn't work out as a wide receiver now doesn't mean he can't transition.
He
there
at least should
if
get
his
the
quarterback
chance.
doesn't work
Yeah,
out.
he at least should at least get the chance to
Exactly.
play quarterback. In a few seasons, if it doesn't work out, he's athletic enough to make the transition.
Yeah, it's
And
just nice to have a
so-
second option.
Yeah.
He will be a high pick. Therefore, for that reason,
absolutely.
he's going to a team that is not an immediate contender. Therefore, there is that time allotted where he can figure out, am I a quarterback, am I not? The team can decide that. The league can decide that. Where it's not a pressure-packed situation. He's being thrust right into the fire where this team is expected to contend immediately. That's not the expectation. The team can develop as he develops. And if he doesn't develop as a quarterback, he can develop as a wide receiver. There's that time period there that he's going to be allotted given that he's not going to an immediate contender, given that he will be a high pick.
Yeah, Bill Polian said that he's not big enough, which I think got taken out of context because he's tall enough. He's as tall as any of these
He's kind of
quarterbacks.
wider, you're right.
But he's more.
That's
thinner.
why he's so shifty. He can out juke like any DB you can.
He's
think of.
extremely thin. That's what it is, and he is. He is a little thin. He's going
That's
to
the
need to
problem,
learn
man.
how to protect
If
himself.
he gets tackled by like a linebacker coming at full speed at him in the pocket, or if he's rolling out,
Yeah.
doesn't see him on his blind side,
He'll be
he
like
can get like a
RG3.
femur snap, dude.
Yeah.
It's interesting because he's got the height. He's even got the weight, actually. But when you look at it, he doesn't have the weight that corresponds to what
He's
it
not
should
big in
be
his
given
shoulders. He's not big in
exactly.
the upper body, and he'll turn out to be like Robert Griffin III if he does not learn how to protect himself.
Yeah.
You need to play like Russell Wilson is the best example.
I don't know.
He's smaller, but like he's the most dynamic runner that is an elite pocket passer as well.
He's backyard football.
Yeah,
He is.
Russell Wilson is in the elite category.
Speaking of Russell Wilson, he got in that bat for the Yankees last week.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. His rights were traded. That was other news that I don't think we mentioned before from the Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Poor
Russell
guy.
Wilson is a spectacular athlete. A spectacular career. He's one of the 5-6 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Oh, totally.
Not
So,
numbers wise, team leading wise.
Yeah. In terms of who you would want on your team,
Yeah,
I would
if
take
you want
Russell
to build a
Wilson
franchise
as a
around a
top
guy
five.
as a rising quarterback,
Sure.
yeah, Russell Wilson.
Another quarterback I want to mention quickly on is Josh Allen. I mean, he can throw the ball 80 yards down the field. That's
Josh
great.
Rosen?
No, Josh Allen.
Who's that?
He's the quarterback from Wyoming.
Oh, yeah.
The big quarterback
Who's
who's
Wyoming quarterbacks?
throwing 70, 80 yards down the field. That's cool, man. You can have all of the power, but he is so inaccurate with the football
Right,
that
yeah.
it does not matter
And it
how
kind
hard you
of
throw the ball.
counteracts the Lamar Jackson thing because like he doesn't have the leg weapon. He has to solely like focus on his arm strength and his accuracy. You can't have like one or the other as an NFL quarterback.
I'm as low on Josh Allen as I've been on any quarterback. I get he can throw the ball far, but he is so inaccurate that it is mind-blowing.
Wasn't that Matt
So-
Stafford coming out? I mean, Matt Stafford wasn't as inaccurate as Josh Allen.
Yeah,
However, with
Matt
that
Stafford
said-
wasn't nearly as bad as
Yeah.
inaccurate.
But he was noted for his arm strength, not what he does with the ball, and it sounds like that's what Josh Allen
See, you
is
can
as well.
fix arm accuracy. You can teach somebody how to throw into a certain spot in their arm and like certain like where the receiver's running. You can't teach arm strength. That's something they have
That's
to do on
innate.
their arm. Yeah, that's something you're born with.
He's think about Josh Allen. He's inaccurate, but he's also wild, and also he played against FCS opponents. He's at Wyoming.
Right.
He played bad all year. He didn't even have a 60% completion percentage. And when he played an FBS team, Iowa, Big Ten teams that play against good teams, he was terrible.
I'm not high on him at all.
So I'm not high on Josh Allen at all. I'm higher on Baker Mayfield than I am with Josh
Yeah,
Allen.
Baker Mayfield's
guy.
Yeah, big Baker guy. He
Big
knows
time.
how to win. He knows how to compete. He's one on the biggest stages possible.
He is.
I feel like Baker's going to be an okay quarterback, but I don't think he's going to change
He's
his
like
team.
there is
he,
no
he reminds
okay
me like a
with Baker
Drew
Mayfield.
Brees, kind of. Like not as good as a pocket passer as Drew Brees, but he has time to develop. He's a young guy still.
He does. And
Yeah.
look at all the guys who everyone knocks saying, oh, he's too wild coming out of college. Everyone keeps on looking at Johnny Manziel because, Johnny Manziel had those
It's
problems.
like,
He
it's like
came
the
out and
same
didn't pan out.
reputation, kind of. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then you also look at there's plenty of the guys in the league who have had that same question mark, and they've gone on to be successful NFLers, and people have just forgotten about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of
It's
them.
easy to forget about the guys who transition into good players. They just
Exactly.
mesh into the mold of everyone else.
Right.
And also about Baker Mayfield, like one thing I love about Baker Mayfield, him and Sam Darnold, the two quarterbacks,
Right.
they love football. They live for football.
Big
They
football
do.
guys.
You could tell like they'll lay their heart and soul on the field for their teams, and that's something
Right.
you want. That's something you can't teach, and that's something that guys like Josh Rosen, kind of entitled guys, UCLA, mom and dads are athletic. Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, they live for it.
They've done it. They've done
That's what NFL execs want to see. Like they want to see people, the quarterbacks, their leader of their franchise,
The
willing to
extra
give
drive.
everything, willing to lead their team.
it. I agree.
So
let's back it up a little bit. I want to pose this question for you guys. When I say back it up, we're going to back it up to from going to the NFL to going into college. Jake Fromm, true freshman last year, led his Georgia Bulldogs to the national championship where they eventually lost one of the best games I've ever seen. Nobody's talking about him. But then also, Justin Fields. You guys familiar with this name?
Mm-hmm.
Number one recruit
high school
in the nation.
phenom, yeah.
Quarterback, Georgia.
That's going to push Fromm out.
Georgia has said that Justin Fields is going to have an equal opportunity for the starting job as Jake Fromm. I'm sorry, what?
Who just led that team to a national championship?
Remember,
As
they
a true freshman, not a redshirt, a true freshman.
That never happens.
That kid is 19
Remember, they
years
also
old.
had Jacob Eason on the roster, who was a top recruit coming out. Now he's transferring to Washington.
Fromm,
I can't blame him. I mean,
Fromm, I believe, is a really good quarterback. I mean, he led his team.
Poised, yeah.
I guess he was the leader, but that was mostly a defensive and coaching.
And running back. Did you see that running back?
They had the best running back tandem we've seen in multiple years.
Yeah.
I got nothing against Jake Fromm, but I say pump the brakes on him a little bit.
Oh, man.
Without Sonny Michel, without Nick Chubb, without guys like Roquan Smith having that top 5 defense, pump the brakes a little bit on Jake Fromm. We'll see what he does this year.
But you got to give him props as to how well he's doing. With
he
all
did
these
play
weapons.
well, though. He
it's
played
like the
well.
Andy Dalton effect, where he has all these weapons he can do, like mass destruction with, like the past couple of years, but he always comes up short. Jake Fromm comes in, knows the expectations, and pulls through for his team. Got his team to the national championship. As a true freshman.
And he played great in the national
The
championship.
Andy Dalton one, that's I don't know about that one.
He's had
I'm not
plenty
like
of
that
years. Yeah, he's had plenty of years to prove himself, and he doesn't get over that hump. Jake Fromm got over the hump and got to the national championship, the biggest stage in college, as like basically a rookie in terms of college tenures. Yeah.
He did play well, but the thing about Andy Dalton is there's a lot of quarterbacks that don't get over the hump. There's about 5 quarterbacks that really get their team over the hump. If you're not Rodgers, Brady, Breeze, Russell Wilson, Big Ben, you're in the Andy Dalton category. You're a team that your quarterback that needs his defense was the best defense in the NFL. Blake Bortles, his defense was arguably the best defense in the NFL. Like these guys, like all of the Bengals fans that like love to hate on Andy Dalton, he's so this, he's so that. Everybody other than those 5 quarterbacks I mentioned are like Andy Dalton.
He's just the easy
they
way
need
out.
the team around them.
Well, the biggest
Other guys,
problem is
they can put the team on their back and go win playoff games. But guys like Andy Dalton can't do that.
you just can't be stuck in mediocrity. You can't.
The
Yeah, that's
definition
the
of
biggest
insanity
problem.
is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. At Mike Brown.
I had never heard that one before, dude.
I don't know. I will say that, but that
And also the thing about a franchise quarterback, it is so hard to get a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
it's so funny how the Bengals have one of them right now, but they just don't seem to want to use him.
You're talking about AJ McCarron.
He's gone now.
Yeah.
He's gone now.
Yeah.
He is gone.
He won a national title.
He did.
One-
He's-
one
He
he's
really got a
good.
chance. He won 2. Yeah, you're right.
redshirt year.
Well,
And
yeah.
his wife is hot.
Yeah, it's a nice bonus.
AJ McCarron is another one I feel like we got to pump the brakes a little bit. We haven't seen enough from him. And also at
He only
Alabama.
got a chance because Andy Dalton got hurt.
Exactly.
And he played well in his one playoff
He played well
game.
enough.
Yeah.
He wasn't great, but he played well
Yeah,
enough.
in his first game, it's kind of hard to just like impress like in your first time thrown in a big stage like that.
Yeah, you've been holding a clipboard all year. All of a sudden, you're throwing in
Yeah.
starting quarterback
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
like pencil pusher to ball thrower. It's kind of hard to do that.
He did start a few games, but even that, a few games is not enough. To playing the Steelers at home, he
Yeah,
played
in a
well
conference
enough.
like
He
this.
definitely played well enough. He should get a chance. AJ
Those couple
McCarron.
games were enough for the San Francisco 49ers to be convinced on
Jimmy Garoppolo.
G.
Yeah.
I mean, he is handsome. I'll give you that.
He is.
But he also came in and won every single game he played convincingly, and he played spectacular in those games.
And turned an O for team. Got their first win in like week 13 and won like
Right.
3 straight
Yeah,
games.
now they're picking like 9th when they were going to pick 1st or 2nd.
Yeah.
So
Oh, man.
it's crazy how much a quarterback can change your tides. If you have a franchise quarterback, an elite quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, if he does it, he may jump into the elite category.
We'll see next year. That makes the NFL so exciting. Everyone's got these franchise tags thrown around, and
Yeah.
he's one of them, obviously.
Plenty of parity.
Speaking of breaking news, I'm pretty sure the Steelers just tagged Le'Veon Bell a few minutes ago.
Did they really?
Yeah, and we will see what Le'Veon Bell thinks about. He does not want to play under a franchise tag. He has threatened to retire. He has threatened to sit out.
He wants his
So-
money, man. He wants to be paid as like the highest paid running back of all time.
Yeah.
As well he should be.
Yeah, the biggest contract in the
Yeah.
NFL for a running back is Devontae Freeman, and he gets about $8 million a year. Le'Veon Bell wants $14-15 million a year.
I can't blame him.
And Devontae splits time with what's his face?
Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, Tevin
Yeah.
Coleman.
It's
Le'Veon Bell is is arguably the best running back in the NFL and has been for the past 5 years.
He's the kind of guy you can throw into like any system because he runs so patiently and he attacks when he has to.
Great receiver out of the back.
He can catch out of the. He has like all the weapons to like play him at whatever system you want to.
He's arguably their second best receiver. He's their best running back and their second best receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, he's valuable. A guy like him is extremely valuable.
I agree. I totally agree.
Speaking of the Steelers, is Big Ben ever going to retire?
That doesn't seem like any quarterback now is going to retire.
No.
Drew Brees wants to keep playing. Tom Brady wants to keep playing.
65 in a wheelchair throwing bombs.
Roethlisberger wants to keep playing.
Brett Favre is going to play in the XFL.
Brett Favre is going to make a comeback at age 60.
He's going to be wearing his Wranglers and like shaving with his 4 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, that's right. I like it.
So, like, in terms of quarterbacks, I want to go back to the Colts because Andrew Luck. What do you guys think about Andrew Luck? Is he going to come back and be the elite guy that we know Andrew Luck to be?
A lot of question marks.
Andrew Luck.
Who?
The guy we haven't seen God knows how long. He played for the Colts that one year, remember?
Oh, yeah, that one time. Yeah.
Oh, come on. You guys are disrespecting Andrew Luck's name. Come on now, guys.
No.
You guys think they're going to take a quarterback number 3? Or do you guys think they'll take Bradley Chubb? Maybe Saquon Barkley if he's available?
They will not take a quarterback for the reason that although he's been hurt and their team's in shambles, he still is their guy. And I think they truly believe that. And even if they don't, they're not going to send him any signals that they don't believe he's their guy.
Andrew Luck is as elite as you get in the NFL. He is on the Aaron
That
Rodgers,
game against the Bengals,
Tom Brady
the
elite.
wild card game a few years ago,
Yeah.
he tore us up.
Andrew Luck is on the
Absolutely.
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady level of elite. I'm not saying of his accomplishments. I'm saying of what he has accomplished, getting drafted number 1 overall for a reason.
Suck for luck.
Because their roster was worse than the Browns. They were worse than the Browns. Yeah, that's why they were drafting number 1 that year. Their head coach was average. Their owner was a goof. They had no Pro Bowlers on their team. Andrew Luck is drafted number 1 overall, 11-5, 11-5, 11-5. Goes to the AFC Championship game and makes the biggest comeback in playoff history. If you don't see the elite in that, then you just don't get it.
Yeah,
he is as elite as any quarterback is in the NFL.
Yeah, all I've seen is a flash in the pan of greatness. We're going to see how he comes off his injury, but like you can't just like lock in and Sharpie that he's going to be a great quarterback
because of his injury. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to hold him back a little bit.
The way I look at it is Tom Brady could retire today, and he's still one of the best of all time. In my opinion, the best. In my opinion,
that's arguable.
Okay, but we're not.
He's the most
that's not what we're
accomplished.
getting into
But that doesn't make him play
right now. What I'm saying
best.
is he could retire right now, and he'd still be one of the best, if not.
Oh, absolutely.
Andrew Luck, not true at all.
That's true. Yeah. Well, 3 years. He's only given 3 years, but like what he's accomplished in those 3 years with an absolute garbage roster and organization, that's as elite as it gets.
And he's such a nice guy,
He's accomplished
too.
nothing, though.
Huh?
He's accomplished nothing the last couple of years. Nothing.
Because he keeps getting injured.
Yeah, his injuries are keep getting.
Right,
or
but
the
you-
lunch
but
ladies
that's
as
also-
his. Look at his offensive line. I don't think we can name a person off of his offensive line, and he was still going 11-5, going to the AFC Championship game.
That's still something that, although he's not trying to get hurt, that is something that docks your credibility here. You look at any of the great players of all time who just couldn't stay healthy, they're still not seen as some of the great players of all time because they weren't playing. Although he's not trying to get hurt, it's not his fault.
We talk about bad offensive
It's still
lines. The
important.
Colts arguably have the worst offensive line in football. And they've had it for the past 5 years.
Yeah, after Jeff Saturday retired, it's just all downhill from there.
Yeah, I miss that guy.
Hopefully Andrew Luck comes back healthy. Yes, you guys are right that we can't. His health isn't guaranteed, but what we've seen from him, he's as elite as anybody.
He's elite with an asterisk mark next
Yeah,
to him.
we'll see
I
when
will
he
agree with
comes
that
back.
one.
Yeah.
He does. We need to see his health and see how he comes back.
So I wanted to shift to the NBA a little bit because we've been
Basketball.
Yeah, so not a crazy week by any means, but like Damian Lillard has proved to me he's a top 5 point guard.
Oh my gosh.
Top 5 in my category. I think it goes like Steph and Kyrie are like Steph and Russell Westbrook are interchangeable at 1 and 2 because it just depends on who's playing better that day.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kyrie. Then whoever else you want to put it for, because like that's interchangeable too with a lot of guys in the league. Everyone's really an athlete now these days.
Exactly.
And then Damian Lillard.
You got guys like Damian Lillard. I think Ben Simmons is considered a point guard because he plays point guard.
Well,
for
he's like LeBron, like the point forward.
He just doesn't hit threes.
But Damian
He doesn't
Lillard,
shoot the ball outside of.
you
like,
got Chris
the paint.
Paul. Chris Paul, James Harden are both point guards now. So, point guard is a heavy position in the NBA. Superstar after superstar.
That's what everyone wants to play these days. That's what all
They want to be the guy with the ball in their hand.
Right. That's what all the kids are being groomed to play. Therefore, that's why there's more of them than anything else.
And how about Portland? They're number 3 in the West right now.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm just proving that they've won like 16 straight games.
So your
or
point
whatever
was
that
really
is.
good because he's been playing so good and they're winning.
Mm-hmm. He's he's the key to their franchise. Him and C.J. McCollum will like cross over you, your mom, your grandma, and everybody you've ever known twice.
Extremely good players, and since they play on the West Coast, not a lot of people see them. They have a lot of 10:30 Eastern time games. Not a lot of people see them. Mm-hmm. So, hats off to Damian Lillard for He keeps on doing this thing and is still one of the elite players in the NBA.
And he barely got in the All-Star game this year again. People keep snubbing him, but if you look at the numbers, he's the dark horse that nobody watches, but like you got to watch out for in the playoffs.
I would take Damian Lillard on my team any day
of
the week. Also, boys, we are getting closer and closer to March Madness. We are less than a week away from Selection Sunday.
My fingers, man.
Oh, man. Best time of the year for a basketball fan or just for any sports fan. March Madness is just something you can't put into words. Excitement you have.
I watched Duke's senior night when Grayson Allen walked off the court for the last time at Cameron Indoor, and I cried a little bit.
Oh, God.
When he hugged Coach K. That was such a nice moment. He's been through so much as a player with like the tripping incidents and getting hurt his junior year.
That's all on him. He's the one who started tripping everybody.
He brought it down upon himself, but he rose from the ashes like a phoenix does, and he dominates on the court like usual. He's like the point guard. Not the point guard, but like he's like the main focus of that team. When they lose,
he's a good player.
Yeah, when Duke loses, everyone points at Grayson Allen. It's your fault. You're the bad guy. You're like the face of like the franchise. That's Coach
that shouldn't happen. If they lose, you shouldn't just point to one guy.
Yeah, it's a team sport.
It's definitely a team game.
Could you imagine Draymond, Grayson Allen, and Christian Laettner all on the same team? Could you imagine?
They'd get about 10 technical fouls a game.
How many people would get kicked in the nards?
Yeah.
How many people would be tripped and fallen?
People would be getting tripped. People would be getting kicked. It would just be... It would be UFC. It wouldn't even be basketball.
It's assault, brother.
That'd be so funny. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. For us in Ohio, we're going to have 3 teams in the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm. Did NKU win their conference tournament?
No, they did not.
They didn't? Okay.
UC and Xavier are going to be 1 and 2 seeds. Ohio State should be like a 5 or 6 seed. So for us, all of our teams are going to be in, so it should be even more exciting than it already is.
I'm more than excited over spring break to be watching that with liquid refreshments frequently.
It's all about Mountain Dews, baby.
All about Mountain Dews.
All about Mountain
Dews.
Dews.
That fruit punch, right?
Fruit punch.
Lemonade.
Nothing better than liquid refreshments and NCAA basketball.
Yeah. What else do we got on the agenda? Like, really? It's been another slow week. Just like a bunch of rumors flying around.
More spring training.
I heard the Vikings might want to sign out of the what's his face? Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah, Kirk Cousins. How could we forget that? I've heard reports that it's the Jets and the Vikings are the 2 teams that are down for Kirk Cousins. The Broncos apparently are out.
I'm so confused on Teddy Bridgewater's situation. Are they just saying that injury was so horrific that he just won't?
I think they are letting him go. Mm-hmm. They're letting him,
really?
Bradford,
they
and
gave him like
go.
3 throws all year, and like the one in like one of the last games of the year. That was about it.
So they're saying he won't be the same again.
Yeah, they're pushing hard for Cousins.
Look at RG3. It's kind of hard to just come back like that.
Wow. I mean, but at the same time, RG3 he had his phenomenal rookie season, but after that, he wasn't any good even before.
He kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to protect himself.
It's just
Teddy Bridgewater, is he really just never going to be the same? Is that really the consensus among the league?
I thought he's a good quarterback.
He was a phenomenal quarterback.
But he wasn't like so great to where like even at like a less performance, like a less graded performance, he's going to do extremely well. With that Vikings team, they're like right at the edge of like greatness.
They're there.
They're
right
but
there.
Like they don't want like a just below great quarterback to lead that team. They want to sign Kirk Cousins, who's proved he's accurate, who's proved he can win with a shitty team at the Redskins.
You like that?
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is one of those guys that his team wasn't that good, and he made them formidable. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins, if the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, they're number 1 or 2 in the Super Bowl, honestly. They have the defense, they have the coach, they have the running backs, they have the wide receivers. Their offensive line is getting better. If you have a franchise quarterback, you're right there. Mm-hmm. The Vikings are right there. So
it's scary stuff.
And if he goes to the Jets, they're just on the opposite end of the spectrum. They're going in the opposite direction.
I don't know why everyone hypes the Jets every year. I think it's like the New York factor, but like everyone's like, oh, they're gonna go at least 11-5. They might make the playoffs and make a push. Dude, they go like 3-15 like every year.
Yeah, that's the Giants. Everybody thinks the Giants are gonna do.
The Giants too. Yeah, the Giants.
Bengals never signed Rex Ryan.
Does anyone remember when the Jets drafted Mark Sanchez and there were the big there was the Joe Namath comparisons? Like this guy's gonna be the next Hall of Famer.
They just like the hype.
He did lead them to the conference finals twice
in a row, 2 years in a row.
Who was that? Sean Green was the running back.
Yeah, they had Sean Green. They had Rex Ryan. I'm pretty sure they had Lavernius Coles at that time. If I'm not mistaken.
We forget?
Was it Plaxico Burress on that team?
Yeah.
How did we forget
Revis Island? Yeah,
exactly.
Good 2 years that he was just like the most dominant corner in the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of which, at the combine, Deion Sanders was laughing at the fact that a white guy ran a 4.340, and he's like, I can't say this on live TV, but. And then he continued to say whatever he's going to say. Regardless, you can't say that in that context on live television.
Right.
We all get what you're going at prime time. You got to keep that to yourself, bro.
On podcast is perfectly fine, but not live TV.
Yeah.
Right.
You got thousands of people watching.
Where's Leon Sandcastle?
Making a comeback.
Anyone know where Leon Sandcastle's at?
He's running a 4.340 on the beach somewhere.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, the NFL draft should be interesting. We got that in about a little over a month. NCAA March Madness is coming up. MLB season is starting.
Mm-hmm. I'm so
A lot
excited.
of things coming up for sports.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Billy Hamilton robbed Ohtani the other day.
Yeah,
You
that
guys
double,
see that?
yeah.
I want to, real quick before we go, I want to look up Ohtani's stats.
Billy Hamilton, it is a robbery. He has not won a Gold Glove yet.
Did he just do it last year?
No, he didn't. That was Tucker Barnhart.
Oh, you're right.
Billy Hamilton
He had
did
the
not
most
win.
putouts in the outfield all year last year.
I mean, he covers so much ground. He makes so many
he
good
made
catches.
so many highlight catches last
An
year.
above average
on the wall,
arm.
diving, everything. Yeah, an above average arm for how small he is.
He should have won the Gold Glove last
Who
year.
won in center?
Man, I don't remember.
I don't know.
Marcelo Zuna played left field, I think, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it wasn't Billy Hamilton. I know it was not Billy
Snub
Hamilton.
again.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but
It's the same thing with the Votto MVP snub. That's a different
Yeah.
topic.
Oh.
I feel like with Hamilton, even though it is the Golden Glove, the writers and whatever, that definitely factors bad into it. Like they don't just based off his field.
yeah, he can't hit. It's a simple. Billy Hamilton has not proven he can hit the ball.
You can't steal first base.
Yeah.
He is the Willie Mays Hayes of real.
Gosh,
They should do that. Every time he pops out, make him do 5 push-ups.
it's great. It's great you can steal bases, man. But if you can't get on base to steal the bases, you're not worth
Right.
anything.
If I was him, yeah, go ahead.
The way I see it is, he's got that. He's got a career carved out for himself, even if he can't be a starting player. I mean, we see it all the time. I mean, we see it postseason runs all the time. Everyone's got their designated
Pinch
Base
runner.
stealer.
exactly.
Everybody's got
Yeah.
a pinch runner.
Dyson.
Yeah.
That's Billy Hamilton.
What the Red Sox Yankees game in 04
Dave
when Dave
Roberts
Roberts stole
stole
second.
second
He was
base.
a designated base stealer all year, and he just
Yeah.
comes in. Everyone in the park knows he's gonna steal. Takes off first pitch.
Right.
Yeah,
Why did the Yankees not pitch out?
I think they picked off a few times. They did 2 or 3 times.
Why did they not pitch out?
Good question.
Honestly, the Red Sox should have left Kevin Millar in to run in that situation. And,
Yeah, Billy Hamilton.
He was gonna hype him up. Don't let us get to Game 7. I'm telling you right now. Don't let us get
Yeah,
to Game
exactly.
7.
Hamilton's
Cowboy
going to
up.
get dropped to 8th in the lineup. They're going to have Senzel up there. They may have Jose Peraza up there, 1-2. So Hamilton might be getting dropped to 8th.
which might be good for him. Might be good for him.
No, honestly, yeah.
They'll get a lot of
fumbles him
fastballs.
bit.
He will.
All right.
Does that cover it?
Yeah. Anything else, guys?
Is that a wrap?
I think it's
That's
a wrap.
about it.
That is a wrap.
There's your week in sports in about 28
Oh,
minutes.
wait. Do you have any NHL news?
Nothing really besides the fact that the Blue Jackets are slipping and I'm freaking out. That's about it.
We should go to a game again soon.
We should. It was a blast. We should do an amateur hour Blue Jackets visit.
Yeah,
We should do it.
live from the stadium.
We should.
That'd be sweet.
It would. I don't know how good the sound quality would be. You wouldn't be able to hear our voices, but you would be able to hear 20,000 people's voices.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty great.
All right, so sounding off here.
That's what I'm saying, Brooksy.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Your week in sports in about 29 minutes. Thanks, everyone.
Toodles.